Kakadosh Boker, we're just continuing with halachot. Now we're in Siman Res Samech Aleph. This is going to be Sif Kaf Daled in the halacha brura. We went backwards a little bit just to mention a very important halacha. Obviously, after a person accepts upon himself Shabbat, or during Shabbat, he's not allowed to be in a car. Whether it's going to be a train, whether it's going to be a bus, whether it's going to be all those things. That is brought down. It's already started with the Khatam Sofer and others as well. That the etzem of sitting down in one of these places is considered ziluta de Shabbat, and therefore it's prohibited. Now the question is going to be, what happens if I already accepted upon myself Shabbat? So we were speaking about, for example, let's say the woman is going to light a plaga mincha, and we said that she accepts upon herself Shabbat. Or here we had a heter that since a lot of people are doing it, so therefore you don't even have to accept upon yourself Shabbat, even though Maran says you do. But here, since there's so many people that they're taking Shabbat early, so you won't need to do so. However, though, let's say a woman does accept upon herself Shabbat, and she can she now go in the car when she's not riding the car? It's only other people that are driving the car. So, for example, her husband's going to bring her to the Bet Knesset, and it's going to be by car. So here, the Halacha Brura says that even though there's going to be some people, for example, the Shut Tzitz Eliezer, and others that want to be machmirim because of the same Khatam Sofer, saying that, listen, it's ziluta de Shabbat, it's uvetin de chol, it's not proper, how could it be, there's maritayin and other things like that. Here he wants to come and he wants to say that there's no problem whatsoever. He says the reason why is because since the majority of the other people did not accept upon themselves Shabbat, which means you did early Shabbat, but there's a late Shabbat. Nobody's going to start thinking that you right now came and you accepted upon yourself the Shabbat. So he does bring down over here that this is based upon Rosh Zamin Orbach, that he says in Shuta Minchat Shlomo, La'akel also Lintzov Mechonit Echai Kabbalat Shabbat, that he himself is not being noheg be'atzmo as long as it's still going to be early enough, and he says there's no problem of ziluta de Shabbat because the majority of people is still chol, it's still a weekday for them. He brings down that's also the Shitav of Ben Zion Abba Shaul, and therefore, and also he says, look at the Igrot Moshe, Shmat Shabbat Kirchata, Nishmat Shabbat, Torah Yoledet, and others, and therefore he wants to say that there's no problem whatsoever. So therefore, in a time of need, if a person needs to, they're allowed to do that. So it comes out that if a woman would want, she would be able to come and she would light the candles in her house on Shabbat, and then if afterwards they would have to drive her somewhere for whatever reason, she would be able to come and to do that. Again, lechatchila, meaning if there's no reason, she shouldn't just do it stam. But if there's any reason whatsoever, she has what to rely on, that she would be able to come into the car. Obviously, the husband would be the one opening up the doors, closing the doors, making sure that she's not doing any type of chilul Shabbat, even the Rabbanan and other things as well. However, though, again, it would be permitted for her to actually go into the car. And the same, this is what we mentioned the other day, to do it the other way around with Rabbeinu Tam. That the same thing with Rabbeinu Tam would be the same heter, that if a person is in a time of need and he keeps Rabbeinu Tam and somebody else does not, so therefore they would be able to go into the car and somebody would drive them somewhere else. That would be again the same halacha as we just mentioned according to this.